Hey guys, Steph here. So in this vlog, we're going to talk about timing. Timing is so important in business and life. And so let's talk about it in terms of context. When you're choosing your platform, your coding language, your framework, try to consider what is going to be popular over the next 2 to 3 years. Look ahead a little bit. Don't look behind. Look ahead. And that's where the big opportunities will lie, whether it be with a coding language, a framework, or maybe a space, right? Like for instance, is web apps the big money? Well, there's still a huge amount of money in web app creation and so forth, but maybe IoT coding might be an interesting place to look into. I don't know. You're going to have to look around, decide where the money is in terms of your coding and your technology pursuits are. Again, try to look a year, 2 years, 3 years down the line. Try to figure out where the buzz is. That's the key to all this stuff. It's not to look behind, not to look what was popular 3 years ago. Look what's popular, what's rising in popularity now. So what the answer is now? Well, IoT could be one of those things, but how that's going to shake out, it's hard to say. I'm not an expert in IoT. I'm actually looking a bit into it. I have somebody who approached me and they want me to sort of get involved in the IoT business perhaps, and I might be putting some investment in that. I'm not sure though. We'll see how that goes. Another thing you can do in terms of the pure coding end of things, you could look at, but right now, and I've spoken about this before, I'm recording this in September 2016, JavaScript is on the rise in a big way, and it's already super important, of course, but you see JavaScript node, JavaScript on the server. That's where you might see a lot of opportunity as a developer, a young developer, to get into that space because a lot of activity there. This would be in startups and that kind of thing. That said, there's always tons of work for PHP developers, especially PHP. You got to, well, when I'm talking PHP, you're working with databases and several other environments as well. PHP for freelancers. If you want to get into startup, the cutting edge, where the big money is going to be, I would be getting into JavaScript. If you want to get into enterprise, you know, the older stuff like Java Spring or a .NET framework, then you want to go accordingly, .NET and so on. But you also have to look at where you live. Where you live is very important, and most important, what you want to do. That said, this video is about timing and how important timing is. So let me give you a real crazy small tiny example about just a couple of days ago. So a couple of days ago, the iPhone 7 launched and they had their little launch party at Apple. So I saw something on there about the camera on the new iPhone 7. I was curious about that. So I watched it just for that. I've never had an iPhone. I've had iPads, I have a Mac, I have cinema display, yada yada. I use both Windows 10 and I use Mac. So, and I use Android. My main phone is an Android phone. So, anyway, so I'm watching this thing on the iPhone, and they have this new software feature for iOS 10 where you can create that blurry background effect. They call it the bokeh effect, the depth of field effect. They do it through software in the iPhone to create that SLR-like depth of field effect. I saw that and my initial reaction was, oh, I guess they don't have the optics. They don't have the optics to create that depth of field effect. Now I saw lots of video on the S7 Samsung, and just through the optics, without using software techniques, they're able to create that effect. So I assumed that the Apple phone's optics, basically its physical camera, did not have the capabilities to create that effect. At the end of the day, though, I was wrong, because actually if you go real close on the subject, you can get that bokeh effect, that nice depth of field, blurry background effect that looks kind of cool. And so anyway, I did a video very quickly that night, and I said, yeah, I was not too sure about whether or not Apple's new iPhone 7's optics, its physical cameras, would match the new Samsung. I was wrong about that one part. So I was like, say, 56% wrong in the video. I talked about a bunch of other things as well related to the two phones. I won't get into it here. Anyway, so I put it out. And boom, the thing starts to really move. For me, what really move means is I got on the front page of Google for that search term, And then all of a sudden, within like an hour or two, I had nearly 2,000 views in climbing. And I had an even split of 50% thumbs down, 50% thumbs up. Anyway, you say anything perceived as slightly negative about Windows, you're going to get attacked. Slightly negative about iPhones, you're going to get attacked. Slightly negative about Ruby, you're going to get attacked, and so forth and so on. That's just the way it is. Humans are tribal. It's we're tribal. We're programmed in our brains to be that way. What can you do? Anyhow, so it was starting to go viral. Well, I don't know if it was viral, but it was like, for me, it takes one of my videos, like, because of the nature of the subjects that I cover, coding and refactoring of code and all these kind of things. It takes a while. I get videos, it takes a while. They slowly climb, 800 views, 1,000 views. I got a couple of videos here and there at 10,000 views and 15,000 views. But for the most part, the type of stuff that I do is very small audience, relatively speaking. So when in a couple of hours, when you're doing 2,000 views on YouTube alone, it's not bad. But because I had made a mistake, because there was that little bit of misinformation, and like I said, it was like 50%, 56% wrong, not 100% wrong, I decided to take it down. I said, you know what, I don't want to spread misinformation. That's not what I do on this channel or anywhere. So I took it down, even though I was getting a lot of juice with that video. So, what are you going to do? Anyway, so I put up, within 20 minutes, I put up another video, almost the exact same title, covering the same subject, where I said, yeah, I made a mistake with the first video, and then I do this video. So I put it up, hardly anything. Hardly anything. It's like no juice. It's got maybe 350 views over in the last 24 hours or 36 hours. It's like nothing. Same content, pretty much, right? That's luck. That's timing, and that's luck. Same content, same author, same subject, hardly anything. So that tells you something about, that confirms something rather, what I've been talking about for years and years and years and years and years, if not a decade or two. Luck in life is very, very big. Luck in life is very, very big. And that's just the way it is. If you play a lot of cards, play a lot of poker, you see that too. Some nights you're just lucky and you get the good cards and you're doing well. Some nights you're getting the bad cards, you're doing bad. So we have to recognize that's a big part of it. So how do you mitigate, how do you deal with the fact that you got to deal with some luck issues? Well, you maximize your chances. You maximize your chances by increasing your chances, by getting things out as quickly as possible, trying different avenues and seeing what sticks. That's basically what it comes down to. So you may hit it off and get really lucky once in a while, like the Zuckerbergs or the Steve Jobs or the Michael Dells, these type of guys. You have to understand, and if you talk to these people, especially as they get older and they realize what happened, luck plays a big role. It's when you're going out there, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Don't spend years and years working out this one thing that's going to be, and then it doesn't work, because you never know what's going to work. Like, for instance, Uber, big success now, huge. A few years before, if I understand, there were other ride-sharing apps that didn't work. Airbnb, almost identical types of apps were out there, or sites are out there prior to Airbnb, but they flopped because the market wasn't ready for Airbnb, the market wasn't ready for an Airbnb type of situation. You got to go out there, you got to take your chances. You got to hit, and then when you see something has some traction, then you push forward into it, and that's a big part of it. Okay, see you in the next video. I might be changing cameras because I can't see myself. The autofocus is not very good, although it shoots very clear video. So anyway, you didn't need to hear that. We'll talk soon. Bye.